Fox Sports.
We are Fox Sports. We are San Diego.
We welcome you to Petco Park in San Diego. It's a beautiful day for baseball. It's game 3 of a 3-game series between the Atlanta Braves and the San Diego Padres, and the last game of the homestand for the Padres. Welcome inside the broadcast booth, everybody. I'm Don Orsillo along with Mark Sweeney. Welcome to Padres baseball. Well, the Padres have played very well on this homestand. They come in at 6-3 on the homestand and look to wrap it up today. And the Padres so far during the homestand have got great hitting and great defense from Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, he has been so good. And at the beginning of the year, trying to fit into a new club has to come with certain pressures. But then you start seeing when he settles in and becomes the player that the Padres really wanted. Obviously, the clubhouse presence is important, but you modify that, and then you end up going out there and producing. You're seeing this in the last homestand where he has been very consistent. Then also the glove work that he is putting on. The big double play against Cincinnati. And how about this pick last night? 2 of them, Freddie Galvis and Christian Villanueva, needed Eric Hosmer's help. He has been great on both sides of the baseball.
Well, the Atlanta Braves come in first place in the National League East. They lost the first game, but came back in a big way last night. And right in the middle of their offensive attack was Freddie Freeman.
Well, the 16-game hitting streak coming into this series was broken up the first night, and that was pretty important for the Padres. Then you saw Freddie Freeman last night really put up and extend these possible MVP numbers of the first half of the season. He continues to pound the baseball. Freddie Freeman is the star that is having one of those career years, and he has to have that for the Braves to be in the position they are. Last night was an indication of how talented this first baseman really is.
Well, Freddie Freeman back in the lineup again for the Braves today in the finale of this series. Well, we come back. Matt Strom gets another spot start, a bullpen day. We'll hear from Matt Strom next from Petco Park in San Diego.
out of the bullpen today to take the place of starter Joey Lucchese, who is still recovering from a hip strain. They did this a few weeks ago against the Dodgers, and in that game, lefty reliever Matt Strom got the start. He tossed 2 scoreless innings. He will get the start again today. Now, I had a chance to catch up with him and find out the differences for him between starting and relieving and how he prepares for both. Take a listen.
They're 2 different experiences, so like being able to go through a starting routine, but then to be able to go out on the mound and have the bullpen like full throttle, let's go kind of mentality is kind of nice too. When he lets you know the night before, it kind of gives you the night to think about it versus you wait for the phone to ring and you don't have any time to think about it. So I mean, other than that, just normal nerves, and then you go on from there.
And Strom started 3 times for the Royals last year, and the Padres actually envision him as a future starter for their team. They like his pitch mix that much. He's got 4 pitches he can use, so they see this as preparation for that role. Well, coming up, the Padres will look to turn things around from last night, end this homestand with the win in the final of a 3-game set against the Braves. Padres, Braves, first pitch coming up next on Fox Sports San Diego.
Cadillac dealers today by Petco, the pet company, and by Jack in the Box. This season, Padres home run score free jumbo jacks only at Jack in the Box. Welcome to a beautiful day at Petco Park in San Diego. Lots of blue skies, and it's time now for the weather report, brought to you by your always sunny San Diego Honda dealers. 70 degrees as we get it started. West breeze at 11 miles per hour, and the forecast partly cloudy. Don Orsillo, Mark Sweeney, and Annie Halbrun with you as the Padres wrap up the homestand here today, playing day baseball against the Atlanta Braves. Brian Snitker's team winning last night's game. And a look at his lineup today. Ozzie Albers will be at second base with Dansby Swanson at shortstop. Freddie Freeman at first. Nick Markakis in right. It is Tyler Flowers doing the catching today with Charlie Culberson in left. Johan Camargo is at third base. Peter Borges in center. And Mike Fulton-Evans does the pitching and bats out of the 9 spot. On the mound today, getting another spot start. His second is Matt Strom.
Well, Matt Strom, the 21st round pick in 2012 by the Kansas City Royals, making his second start, second appearance in this series, a clean inning in the first game of this Atlanta series, and pass the baton, put up zeros, and give it to the next guy in the bullpen.
And the center field door is open out there by the bullpen, so They are getting that closed up, and we're good to go. Ozzy Albers standing in here for the Atlanta Braves. Dansby Swanson and Freddie Freeman featured here in the first inning. Albies has been leading off, and he will take a strike. Underway. Padres in their throwback jerseys today on this way back Wednesday.
Those are sweet unis.
Those are the unis you wore in '98, yes?
Absolutely love them.
I think they're my favorite too.
Yeah, I think if you look at the pinstripes, it's slimming. That's why I like it.
I like the orange in it too.
I do
I
too.
really do. I like that logo.
It has a little, it pops.
It does. Albies with a count of 0-2. And a swing and a foul tip. Getting just a piece? No, apparently didn't get any piece. Albies thought he did. Says something to Nick Lentz, home plate umpire, but he has rung up one down.
Well, Albies, we've seen this whole series, he loves swinging the bat. Doesn't matter where it is. And Rafi Lopez squeezes that, but then the transfer, he drops it.
Came out of the glove on the backswing. Rafi Lopez. So Albies strikes out, brings up Dansby Swanson. Swanson moving up in the order. The shortstop, who's hit down in the order. Line one foul. Well, Matt Strom getting another chance to start, and the more we see him start, the better he looks. You know, he come into an, I don't want to call it an important outing for him, but I think perhaps his future is this, somewhere in the rotation.
Don, I think it's every single time he gets an opportunity to start, which I think is every pitcher's dream to be that starter. I think it's an important part. A lot of it has to do with the command of what Matt Strom has done, but I think Andy Green, the manager of the Padres, has said it so many times. He believes he could be a starter.
And strikeout to begin his day, and now 1-1 pitch coming up here to Dansby Swanson.
I think every starter, you start looking at it and seeing what they have for repertoire, and he has a starter's repertoire. It all has to do with mentality and if they can build him up. Wondering if they're going to do that with extended outings, maybe 2, maybe 3 innings, if they can do that.
You know, his second start, first start was a 2-inning start through 31 pitches. That was at LA against the Dodgers. Swanson stays alive and fouls it back to the screen. 26-year-old. Second career appearance, first start against the Atlanta Braves. Out of the pen this year in 8 appearances, a 3.48 earned run average. Overall, a 2.92. And is 1-2. To center field, Manuel Margot drifting back and shy of the track, brings it in for out number 2. Check out the Padres defensively. Behind Matt Strom, left to right in the outfield, it is Travis Jankowski, Manuel Margot, and Hunter Renfroe. Third to first, it's Corey Spangenberg, Freddie Galvis, Jose Perella, and Eric Hosmer, with Rafi Lopez catching the day game after the night game, and Matt Strom on the hill.
How about Corey Spangenberg pitching the 9th inning last night after a game that got away from him, and now he's playing third base.
Did a nice job last night.
I'm sure he's probably feeling that right arm a little bit today.
High drive, deep right field off the bat of Freddie Freeman, and that ball is gone. Well, he follows up what was an incredible night last night, 4 for 4 with a home run, and first at bat today connects with a home run, his 11th of the year, and the Braves jump on top 1-0. He is on a tear.
You're right, Don, and exactly what Freddie Freeman has done. He's given consistency to this lineup. What was spectacular last night, where he was a triple shy of the cycle, was that he hit all the pitches. He hit a curveball, a fastball, and also a changeup last night.
On base 5 times last night. Also walked along with the 4 hits. As Nick Markakis will take a pitch outside. Well, the Braves jumping on top here, 1-0 in the first inning. On a long solo home run by Freddie Freeman. That's been quite a year for Nick Markakis in his 4th season as an Atlanta Brave. .332 average to start the day, 8 homers, 42 runs batted in. Playing in his 62nd game of the year. It's a fly ball to center field where Manuel Margot waits and makes the catch that ends the inning. Home run for Freddie Freeman. The Braves have a 1-0 lead. Brought to you by your San Diego County Toyota dealers. Travis Jankowski leading it off and in left field with Eric Hosmer at first base. Jose Perez at second base with Hunter Renfroe in right. Corey Spangenberg at third with Freddie Galvis at short. Rafi Lopez does the catching. Manuel Margot in center. And Matt Strom. The pitcher bats out of the 9 spot. And Mike Foltynewicz on the mound today for Atlanta.
19th overall pick by the Houston Astros in 2010. Has an upper 90s fastball and has a lot of confidence with that fastball. He's been stingy in the last 5. Continues 1 earned run or less in the last 5 starts.
It's strike 1 to Travis Jankowski, who leads it off, toting a .309 batting average coming in. Home run and 5 runs batted in.
Now, the challenge for the Padres this year has been guys just like this, velocity guys that'll pitch at the top of the strike zone. They're going to have to shorten their swings and not necessarily have the mentality of putting it in play, but shortening your swing.
Yeah, there have been some high strikeout numbers for the Padres against those type pitchers.
Yeah, and what it does, velocity brings on stress. And for hitters, they have to have that mentality of going after what they like. Drive that fastball down in the strike zone.
Swing and a miss. And speaking of strikeouts, Travis Jankowski strikes out to begin things here in the bottom of the first inning. Check out the Braves defensively, brought to you by Cadillac. Left to right in the outfield, Charlie Culberson, Peter Borges, and Nick Markakis. Third to first, Johan Camargo, Dansby Swanson, Ozzie Albies, Freddie Freeman at first base, and Tyler Flowers does the catching for Mike Foltynewicz. Borges getting his second start in center field on the year. He's come off the bench in each of the first 2 games. Big swing by Hosmer, down 0-1. 297 homers and 28 runs batted in for Eric Hosmer. Sits safely now in 4 of his last 5 games. Oh for 2 in last night's game. And a swing and a miss. Strikes out. Back-to-back Ks for Foltynewicz to begin things as they got to throw him out at first base, and they do. Let's take a look at the keys to the game, brought to you by your San Diego Honda dealers.
Well, it's important for the Padres in the rubber game to lead after 6. They're 20-2 when they have the lead after 6th inning. That's because of Yates' stamina in hand, and also braved the elements. 3-4 guys in the lineup, as we've seen today. Freddie Freeman, 9 for 19 with 3 home runs. Nick Markakis, it's a good combination.
2 down in the inning, and Jose Pirela. That's 3rd in the order today. Still looking for that first elusive home run of the year. 271 average, and he's driven in 19 on the lookout. Hard stuff at 98. Up and in. 2-0 now to Pirela.
Well, Foltynewicz loves his fastball. You see that arm side run. That'll get your attention if you're Jose Pirela.
Outfield playing for Pirela to go the other way. Pops it up foul, off to the right, out of play.
Now the challenge, as we've seen already, the Padres are going to try to match that velocity. Really, the philosophy with this, facing a Foltynewicz that has a plus fastball, you almost want to relax yourself. Let him supply the power.
There it is again. 98. Pirela hitting safely in 5 of his last 6 games. Grounded back towards the mound, and Foltynewicz fields and throws and enjoys a 1-2-3 first inning. 1-0 Atlanta. Strength of a home run by Freddie Freeman have a 1-0 advantage, and it's on to inning number 2 for Matt Strahm. Tyler Flowers, Charlie Culberson, and Johan Camargo anticipated for the Braves, and first pitch in there for a strike on the breaking ball from Strahm. Flowers at 277, 3 homers and 9 runs batted in. Had last night off after starting the first game of this series. Saw Kurt Suzuki do the catching last night. After the ball game, the Braves will bus to Los Angeles, have tomorrow off, and then have a 3-game series coming up against the LA Dodgers, while the Padres are headed after the game to Miami. Take on the Marlins. Ground ball deep short, and Galvis, long throw from the outfield grass, gets there in time. Nice play by Freddie Galvis from deep short for the first down of the second inning.
Now the internal clock from the shortstop position, so important. You hear that a lot. Knowing the speed of the runner, being able to plant that back foot, and the strong, accurate throw by Freddie Galvis.
One out, and it brings up Charlie Culberson. Culberson at 263 coming into today's action. A couple of home runs, 11 RBIs. Hitting at 429 in his last 6 games. Tardy on that fastball, 95, kind of running away.
And you think about Brian Snitker and what he has done very well with this roster. He's taken an opportunity to show who, if you're hot, he's going to insert you. Kind of the old school approach. Put guys in those positions where they can be successful.
Culberson strikes out. Rising fastball at 95. Second strikeout for Strom, 2 down.
It's always fun to watch pitchers that can add and subtract, but also can go north and south. Definitely pitching at the top of the zone with a plus velocity. That's the best fastball of the day.
2 down here in the second inning. Johan Camargo coming up, third baseman for Atlanta. Recipient of strike 1. They're taking a little off. See 95, 96, and that last fastball at 93.
Yeah, those variances of 5 miles an hour, 6 miles an hour with one pitch.
That was a pretty good looking pitch, but called a ball.
Yeah, a couple of those have been down in the strike zone, but right at that bottom edge has not been called early in this game.
Swing and a miss, and it's 1-2. Camargo hitting safely in 8 of his last 10 games. And a 371 average in the last 25 games. One of the hotter Braves will pop it up. And coming down from first is Hosmer. He will make the catch. It ends the inning. Strom with a 1-2-3 inning, 1-0 Atlanta. Second inning, time for the Kia drive to success with Mike Foltynewicz on the mound today for the Atlanta Braves. And a leader's lowest earned run average on the year. Mike Foltynewicz at 2.22 coming in. Jacob deGrom leading in that category. Nifty 1.49 ERA.
A lot of people's question are what has Mike Foltynewicz has done in making himself a better pitcher. He's been more efficient with 2 strikes. In years past, he's had that plus velocity, good breaking ball. But with 2 strikes, he tried to put so many people away that he missed so poorly. He'd get back into the count.
26-year-old. There's a ground ball base hit through the left side off the bat of Hunter Renfroe. There's some good at-bats in last night's game for him. Plate appearances, I should say, because he walked 3 times. There's Hunter Renfroe with a base hit here in his first plate appearance today.
Well, it's really important today because the velocity from the right-hander plus that very good slider that Fultonevich has, getting on top of the heater.
Appears to be more patient, more selective at the plate.
Yeah, and you have to have that. I think a lot of it has to do with seeing the ball a little bit longer for Hunter Renfroe.
Or Spangenberg taking strike 1 from Fultonevich.
Yeah, I don't think you want to wait around too long today. You get that fastball on the plate, especially middle away and down. You're going to have to fire on it.
High percentage of strikes too, and you get down 0-2 pretty quickly if you're not aggressive. And there's Spangenberg who goes after that pitch. 17 pitches, 13 have been strikes. Only 4 balls so far thrown by Fultonevich. 6'4", 195 pounds. Came over from the Houston Astros.
Well, so many times, Don, you're sitting at home, you're watching the game, you're on the couch, and you're saying, man, that pitch looks so good. And why are they swinging and missing? It's the finish on the pitch. It's a reason why you hear spin rate, all of these things. It's a plus fastball getting behind it, has carry in the strike zone.
Late life. Out towards right center field. Markakis is not going to get there, and that's going to roll to the track on the wall. Hunter Renfroe is going to try and score from first. He will without a problem. It's an RBI triple for Corey Spangenberg, and the Padres have tied the score 1-1.
Now Corey's starting to get hot. And the reason why, because you see this cutter that's elevated. Continues to look very good middle in at the top of the zone. Hit a home run earlier in the series.
Spangenberg at third base after the RBI triple. And it brings up Freddie Galvis. Padres have tied it up. Now the cutter didn't do much. And hung up there, and Spangenberg slaps it to the alley in right center. Foul tipped by Galvis on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball headed down. Galvis tied with Travis Jankowski for the most infield hits on the team with 9. There's 3 bunt hits to lead the club. He's in with a 5-game hitting streak.
Freddie has had 15 at bats against Fultonevich.
Waves at this pitch, and it evens at 2-2. Galvis upset with himself, swinging at that pitch up and away. Rafi Lopez waiting on deck as Galvis carves it foul to the screen. Another one of those 98-mile-an-hour fastballs. Payoff pitch coming up to Freddie Galvis. And a grounder to first base. Freeman looks the runner back at third and then tags the bag for the first out of the inning. Galvis unable to advance the runner, and Corey Spangenberg remains at third base.
can see in on the corners to prevent that run from coming in. Freddie Freeman, who can throw the baseball, very similar to Eric Hosmer as a first baseman, holding Corey Spangenberg at third base.
So 1 out, Spangenberg at third, and here is Rafi Lopez. The Braves will bring the infield in. Rafi can find something here to lift the outfield to bring this run in to put the Padres on top here in the second inning. Fultonevich falling behind, 2-0.
The first game of this series, Rafi Lopez had 3 hits, including a big home run to right.
Missing again away. Fultonevich a little frustrated as he falls behind here, 3-0. And well, Margot waiting on deck for San Diego as they bat here in the home half of the second inning. And have just tied the score 1-1. Ball 4, and he walks Lopez on 4 pitches. First walk allowed by Fultonevich of his outing. First and third with 1 down. And Snitker looking on as Fultonevich running into some trouble here in the second inning. Here is Manny Margot. Really felt like this was going to be a huge year for Margot going into spring training and coming off his first full year in the major leagues, and got off to a tough start this year offensively especially.
Yeah, disappointing start, but it can be a very encouraging year if it has a very good second half. And why I say that is there's certain adjustments that you have to make. The league adjusts to you. And Manny Margot's ability hasn't left him. It really has a lot to do with how he identifies himself as a player. To me, it looks like he's tried to lift the ball early in this season. And that swing path has really gotten underneath the baseball.
Lines this one off the glove of Albies into right field, and from third comes Spangenberg, and the Padres take a 2-1 lead. Couple of runs off Fultonevich here in the second half. The Padres on top.
You know, that's the reason why I think Manny Margot has the ability to change everything around. Watch it from the side, gets his foot down, but works on top of the baseball, that controls the barrel and absolutely pummels this line drive. That's huge for Manny Margot's confidence. You sit right around 200, start not believing in yourself. Manny Margot starting to gain that confidence back.
That's Strom now batting for himself. Squaring, pulling it back, throw to second base, and getting back is Rafi Lopez. Tyler Flowers not afraid to throw it around. Strom looked like he offered at it for strike one, 1-1. First career major league plate appearance for Matt Strom.
Yeah, didn't look comfortable on that bunt attempt.
Offers at that and finds himself down 1-2. 25th pitch of the inning coming up here for Fultonevich. 2 earned runs allowed in his previous 32 innings. Encompasses 5 starts and has given up 2 earned runs here in the second inning.
That's a good sign for the Padre offense.
Strom strikes out for the second out here, the second inning. Unable to get it down. Third strikeout for Fultonevich. 2 down. Top of the order coming up here, and Travis Jankowski, second time through the order. 2 outs and runners in scoring position so far. 2 for 5 in that category. Did strike out in his first at bat against Fultonevich. Grounds it foul to the end of the Padres dugout. As they're housed on the first base side here at Petco Park.
Jankowski getting a heavy dosage of sliders already. His first 2 plate appearances.
40th pitch coming up here for Fultonevich. With Lopez at second, Margot at first. Important here for the Padres to get as many as they can here early, because Fultonevich can settle in. He may not get any more.
Yeah, you're right.
And a quick and easy 1-2-3 first inning. That's in, and it's 2-2. Comes in with a 2.22 earned run average. 13th start of the year for the tall right-hander, and a glorious day today at Petco Park in San Diego.
Do you believe you have to leave this place?
I don't want to. Broken back grounder towards Freeman. Fultonevich has got a cover. He does, and misses with his foot. Safe is Jankowski, and the bases are loaded.
Such a tough play defensively when you get close to that bag, even in front of the bag. And the pressure goes on to the pitcher. You can see him blind to the bag. That right foot does not touch first base. That's a bad toe pick.
It is a hit for Jankowski, an infield hit that loads the bases. That brings the pitching coach Chuck Hernandez out. As you got a bases loaded situation for Eric Hosmer coming up.
Now what you got to be careful of here is Eric Hosmer got a couple of those hard sliders, middle in. Eric Hosmer has shown that he can make some adjustments. That's a veteran in his ability. 1 grand slam in his career. This would be a big one.
Hosmer struck out swinging in the first. One of 3 strikeouts for Fultonevich in this game.
Hosmer likes to look in early in the count.
It was in, but a breaking ball. Eighth member of the Padres to bat here in the second inning. Strike 2. That time Hosmer taking. Lopez at third, Margot at second, and Jankowski at first with 2 away, 2 runs in. Here in the Padres' second inning. Hosmer strikes out and they'll leave him loaded. Padres do get 2 and take a 2-1 lead to the third.
So even though if he's 91 and 93 or 93 and 95, it looks a little bit harder than that. Has really good carry in the strike zone. And he's been really aggressive since he's started for us. And we look at him as a future starter for us. So when he gets these the bullpen days when our whole pen is pitching, if he starts, it'll lead into prepping him to start in the future.
And that was pitching coach Darren Balsley on starter Matt Strahm. And Balsley called Strahm the aggressor. He said that he likes his pitch mix. He's got 4 pitches he can use. He normally only uses 2 out of the bullpen, his 4-seamer and his slider. But as he gets extended, he can use all 4. And like Balsley said, they are eyeing him for a spot in the rotation as long as things keep progressing. So Don Sweens, it's something to keep an eye on for the future, for sure.
Yeah, no doubt, Annie, for sure.
And I think of it from what you're hearing from Darren Balsley. We hear spin rate so much. It's that carry in the strike zone. Not all pitchers have that, and it does. You're rated as the spin rate guy that has that ability to miss bats with the fastball. To me, Matt Strahm is that guy, but also can spin a baseball with his secondary stuff.
Peter Borges leading it off here for the Braves.
Now, from the hitter's perspective, a lot of arms and elbows for Matt Strahm's delivery as well. It makes it very uncomfortable if you're in the batter's box.
31 pitches in his first start. Pitch 27 is to right, and that's going to drop in for a base hit in front of Hunter Renfroe. Second hit allowed by Strahm, leadoff single here in the 3rd inning. Bring up Mike Fultonevich, the pitcher for the Braves. First time Atlanta's had the lead runner on today.
Sacrifice situation, but Peter Borges has speed. You got to be careful of him at first. He has the ability to steal a base, so in this situation, you'd assume that that sacrifice bunt would be on.
Fouls it off. Also have to be mindful that if he does get it down the 3rd base line, that Borges has the capability to get to 3rd base.
Yep.
Somebody's got to be covering.
A lot of guys crashing, a lot of moving parts on bunt plays.
We didn't have the wheel play going there. 30th pitch coming up here for Strahm. As Fultonevich stretching it out and climbing back in the box here with count of 1-1. You see Spangenberg in on the grass at 3rd base, anticipating that bunt. And he gets a bunt down. Strahm will go to 1st base, and the sacrifice is complete with Perella covering. So 1-4 on the sacrifice. 1 out, 1 on, and time now for our Valley View Casino trivia question. Question is, can you name the current Padres coach who, as a career position player, made 4 different relief appearances? We saw Corey Spangenberg do that last night. Please tweet us your answers by the end of the inning using hashtag Valley View Trivia. Pitching change, that's the day for Matt Strahm. It's 2-1 Padres. for Matt Strom. Ends up throwing 30 pitches in 2 1/3 innings. And is responsible for Peter Borges, who is at second base, as Jose Castillo comes in here for the Padres.
Well, what a major league debut. Struck out all 3 hitters he faced in his debut. That's the 3rd Padres pitcher ever to do that. Tommy Lane and Jeremy Feacock.
Castillo backs off, dealing with the top of the Braves order. Ozzie Albies. That's with Borges getting that walking lead off second base. Albies swings and misses for strike 1.
Yeah, I think that's what you have to do, and Ozzie Albies is going to be that guy that you can almost assume he has 2 strikes on him when he steps in the batter's box. He's swinging from the get-go.
And Castillo recalled Saturday from AAA El Paso. Soft liner that is caught. Wow. It's shortstop by Freddie Galvis, fully extended. 2 down in the inning. Nice play by the Padres shortstop.
Such good anticipation. You can see the back-to-back breaking balls. Freddie Galvis is going to cheat a little bit to his right, but the accurate dive and a big out.
So 2 down. Borges at second base, and Dansby Swanson coming up. Fly down to center field in the first inning. Fouled off by Ron Washington, the third base coach for the Braves. Dancing out of the way, still got good moves. Former Texas Rangers manager Ron Washington. Center fielder Margot over towards right center, gap in left center, and a liner foul towards the end of the Braves dugout. And new protective netting is, and it's a good thing it was. That was a hot shot over there. Another example of how important that netting now is.
Yeah, that's a better experience. I think a lot of people are going to complain about sight lines. You have infants and younger children down there who want to be close to the field. That netting is imperative.
A little high, and got evens at 2-2. Jose Castillo retiring Albies. First out since coming in, 2 down in the inning. And that pitch, should he go? No. Able to hold up Dansby Swanson. Full count now.
See if he goes. Pretty close, but he holds up. He has confidence to go to the breaking ball. He has a good feel for that, along with that velocity of the fastball.
Tying run here for Atlanta in scoring position at second base, and speedy Peter Borges. And a payoff pitch coming up to Dansby Swanson. On the ground, foul outside of third base. That's Strom, who departs after 2 1/3 innings today, responsible for Borges. He was at second base and looking on here after throwing 30 pitches in his start today. And a bullpen day for the Padres. Swing and a miss, and Castillo strikes out Swanson. Another very good job for him. 2-1 Padres. Third inning. It's time now for the answer to our Valley View Casino trivia question. Last time saw Cord Spangenberg come in as a position player, named the current Padres coach, who as a career position player made 4 different relief pitching appearances.
Mark McGuire.
Let's say that guy, Skip Schumacher. Mark McGuire.
You know why I said Mark McGuire? Because he pitched at USC. That was his favorite thing.
Wow.
I knew it wasn't going to happen because he was hitting too many homers to ruin that right arm.
That Canseco pitch at one point.
Yeah.
The Bash brothers. But yeah, Skip Schumacher, 4 innings pitched.
That doesn't surprise me. The ability that Skip had and the willingness to do whatever it took.
First year as the first base coach for the Padres. This one grounded softly down the third baseline. It was foul here for Jose Perella.
Now you go up and have conversations with Skip, and you say, Skip, can you? And he goes, yes. Can you do? Yes. That's what he was as a player. Learned so much in a Cardinals uniform, but benefited a lot of other teams. That's a reason why he's in the position he's in now. So much knowledge to lend. First year first base coach.
Went to spring training with the Padres and then retired during spring training and was hired almost immediately by the organization.
Yeah, and a smart move, because you can't have too many of those guys. They're hard workers, and guys that had to persevere to stay in the game are the guys you want to learn from. Skip, a family man, lives in Orange County. It's a full commitment to come down here and be a part of this building of a franchise. It's a nice ad.
Fly ball to right field has Nick Markakis battling the sun, but handling out number 1. One down here in the third inning. He'll bring up Hunter Renfroe. Singled in the second, came around to score the Padres' first run. Padres able to get 2 runs off Mike Foltynewicz in the second inning, and 8 men came to the plate. Popped up foul, backing out of play, and it's 0-2.
I think Hunter Renfroe would like to have that last pitch back. The slider has been a tough pitch for him, but that was a slider that was middle of the way.
On the ground to short. Dansby Swanson on the run and in time to get Renfroe 2 down here in the 3rd inning. Fly out and a ground out takes us to Corey Spangenberg. That is first career pitching performance here last night. First Padre position player to pitch this season in the first since Eric Ibar, who did so June 8th of last year at Arizona. Spangenberg, who has homered in 2 of his last 3 games. His 10th career multi-extra base hit game here last night. Finds himself in the hole, 0-2.
Man, that slider has been so good. He gets on top of it. Looks like a fastball coming out of the hands.
Pretty good pitch right there on the corner, but called a ball.
Yeah, this is a close pitch. Wanted it away. You see Flowers trying to drag that back into the strike zone.
The fact that it was a mislocation and he had to reach across may have been costly for Fulton Evich.
Talking to Jesse the other day, and do you like the human element, or would you like to have a conformed strike zone?
I like the human element.
Yeah, I do too.
Grounded foul.
And I'll tell you why. I like the human element because it stirs up emotion. You know, when you had a grief with a home plate umpire because it was a bad strike zone, it added emotion to the game. And I think it'd be too boring to know exactly what's a strike and exactly what's a ball. I know people understand that's what they want.
Kind of like tennis. We have the
Cyclops.
Yeah. Beep. I don't think I'd like it.
I think it'd be really boring. Because certain umpires had a style in a certain zone that you knew going into that game. Frank Pulley comes to mind, one of those old umpires that you knew if it was a day game, it was a long game the night before, you better swing the bat. And he would actually tell you, say, Frank, where was that? Swing the bat, son. And he's basically telling you, I'm having a bigger strike zone. I don't have a problem with that.
Off pitch and a swing and a miss for strike 3. It was up. And that's strikeout number 5 for Fulton Evich. It's 2-1 Padres through 3.
I can see Freddie Freeman. He has handled every pitch, and he has the ability to turn on a fastball. You know what he's done really well this year? Hitting against left-handers. First in the National League and against left-handed pitching.
Jose Castillo came into the game with a runner at second and 1 out. And Albies to line out to short, struck out Dansby Swanson. Okay, it's Freeman to ground one to second base, and Perella retires Freeman for out number 1 of the 4th inning.
I'm becoming a Jose Castillo fan. I'll tell you why. Obviously, his first appearance against the Reds, first strikeouts against Joey Votto. But you just got one of the hottest hitters to ground out easily to second base. Weak contact.
Now 1 down here in the 4th inning, and it brings up Nick Markakis.
He's got a presence about him too that you see on the mound that you start falling in love with as well.
There's action behind him in the pen on this bullpen day in San Diego. Final game of the homestand, and Padres have tomorrow off, so they can empty out that bullpen today. On the ground right side, Perella slides to his right and throws out Markakis. 2 down. 2 ground ball outs to the second baseman, Jose Perella. I'll bring up Tyler Flowers. The Braves catcher grounded down to shortstop in the 2nd inning. 0 for 1. On the ground and just foul down that third base line, and a hot shot off the bat of Flowers.
I see a lot of guys today wearing the sunglasses. It's not really the look. It has everything to do with relaxing your eyes. Some hitters don't like it because they can see that nose piece. But on days like this where it has a lot of glare, it's not just the fielders that are using them. It has a lot to do with the hitters as well.
Elevating and chasing his Flowers. I would say they are a necessity if you were in the outfield today.
Definitely. Looking up into that sun, the glare in your eyes. You don't want to miss a baseball not having them on.
Hit him on an 0-2 pitch. And down to first base goes Flowers. He just grazed the jersey.
It catches that elbow. Yeah,
oh yeah,
just a little bit.
That's more than a graze too. Got the elbow on the way by. Easy for me to say. He was grazed.
You should try that. I have a baseball.
My ankle is still hurting from last night.
Not do that. So our fans out there, that Don's sitting here nonchalant, just in between innings. Mark Grant was on the floor and hides behind you.
Yeah.
And then Jesse starts talking to you, getting your attention, and Mark Grant slams your foot with a baseball.
Yes, all true. Just sitting here minding my own business.
So I don't get in the middle of things, but man, that was awful.
Radio guy Mark Grant comes over here and fires one off my foot.
See, he's got the baseball right there.
There it
See
is.
the baseball in front of him?
Tried to get rid of it. I threw it out of the booth the other night.
I'd watch your elbow.
Soft liner into center field for a base hit for Culberson. As Flowers will take second base, and all of a sudden the Braves have runners at first and second with 2 down. Meeting at the mound here as Rafi Lopez goes out to talk to Castillo. MLB At Bat is your #1 app to watch live Padres baseball. Customize your experience to catch every moment this season Get Padres home screen icons and features such as the MLB.TV Game of the Day, pitch tracking, in-game highlights, live radio broadcasts, stats, news, and more. Download MLB at Bat today. 2 outs, Flowers at second base, Culberson at first, and Johan Camargo now for the Braves. He offered. Going to home plate umpire Nick Lentz. Not even going to check. 0-1. Oh, 2.
Well, such a good combination. Think about sequencing that hard slider to start off the at bat, and the fastball elevated.
Stays alive, fouling it off to the right, out of play.
See if he goes back to that slider.
Flowers at second, Culberson at first, and that one almost hit his back foot. Did go back to the slider.
Yeah, he's got a sweeping breaking ball, but also he has some that has a tilt on it, where it comes out of the hands hard and has that big break late.
Adam Simber up in the pen, ready should they go to him. Pitch 25 for Castillo of relief. And a swing and a miss, able to strike out Camargo and leave 2 men on. 2-1 Padres. A trail here to the Padres 2-1 today as part of youth baseball on Fox Sports San Diego. We are proud to welcome the future Padres from Spring Valley Little League in partnership with the San Diego County Parks and Recreation. Fox Sports San Diego is proud to support youth baseball and the fields where they play. Look out for more of these future Padres throughout the season on Fox Sports San Diego.
Those are sweet unis.
Yeah, they are. Look at the roads going, huh?
Yeah.
Fulton Evich back on the mound here for the last of the 4th inning. Freddie Galvis, Rafi Lopez, Manuel Margot scheduled to bat here in the 4th. Padres on top 2-1. Infielders in on the corner. And a strike to Galvis, who grounded out to the first baseman Freddie Freeman in the 2nd inning. 5-game hitting streak coming in for Galvis. He's already made a very good defensive play at shortstop in this one. Changed up, and it's 1-2.
Yeah, that's a rare changeup. He's been fastball slider predominantly all day.
Center fielder Peter Borges over towards left center for Galvis to go the other way. Fultonevich had a 1-2-3 first, a 1-2-3 third, but gave up 2 runs in the second inning. And at 66 pitches, dealing with his first hitter here at the bottom of the 4th inning. Rolls it over foul by the on deck circle. Rafi Lopez waits to hit, and then Manuel Margot will be along here in the 4th inning. Ball 4 and a leadoff walk for Freddie Galvis. Second walk allowed today by Fultonevich, and this one leads off the 4th inning. Second time in this game the Padres have had the lead runner on.
Important plate appearance for Freddie Galvis. You need add-on runs, especially against this team who was really pounding the baseball last night.
Rafi Lopez walked in the second inning. Inside out swing and fouls it off to the left out of play. This pitch will be the 70th of the day for Fultonevich.
It looks to me when he's out of the stretch too, he misses location at times. Got to capitalize on those mistakes.
Throw over, and that one a little closer, but Freddie able to get back. Watched over to get back, and that was pretty close.
Very close, but you know what I see right now? Freddie Galvis' sweet socks. Got the Hall of Famer number 51 on his socks today on the day game. Those are outstanding. I think those would look great under your suit.
Fly ball to left field. Culberson is over towards the corner and will make the catch for the first out. Galvis remains at first base.
Well, we touched on Manny Margot's progression, off to a tough start, but now you're starting to see some things and reasons why to come out. Matt Harvey in a big at bat, his first at bat with bases loaded in the Red Series. He comes through, and then today the line drive for the second RBI of the day today. But Manny Margot starts to get that confidence back, slashing the ball to all field, but also having the ability to go the other way with 2 strikes.
Elevates and he chases 95.
I think when you fight mechanics at times and then you're not getting the results, you have to have some instant feedback at times. And Manny Margot has had some really good production his first at bats.
In the air to left center field. Over goes Culberson, and he'll get there to make the catch. Looked like that one was headed for the gap, and Culberson gets over quickly. And Margot is out number 2 of the inning. No advance for Galvis.
You don't have that sound. Maybe it got in on him just a little bit.
Pinch hitter coming up here for Jose Castillo, and it is Matt Caesar. A pinch hit with 2 down, runner at first base. Caesar at 206, a home run and 6 runs batted in.
Well, you know it's a bullpen game, so bench players, you have to be aware and ready at all times.
This is his 22nd pinch hit appearance on the year. This is where most of his playing time has come, right here. This type situation.
You know, for Matt, even coming off the bench, he has that pull power. Quick swing, maybe get that slider that's elevated.
Pops it up. Foul ground as Flowers and Freeman. It'll be Freeman in front of the Padres dugout. Battled the sun but made the catch to end the inning. 2-1 Padres. To the fifth we go. Coaches in the inaugural 2018 High School Coach of the Week program. Of the 10 selected, one coach has been recognized as the Coach of the Year. Today we honor James Davis from Granite Hills High School for making a positive impact on the lives of his players, both on and off the field. Coach Davis received a $5,000 donation presented by the Padres and Fox Sports San Diego. Congratulations to James Davis. The Padres enjoy a 2-1 lead to the top of the fifth inning. We go on just a spectacular day in San Diego, America's finest city.
Sure is. You have to leave it. What a bummer.
For a long time, actually.
It is. A lot of road games this month.
Adam Simber becomes a third arm used on this bullpen day. Simber singled to right field in the third inning. As Borges will take a pitch inside. Borges would get to second base but was stranded there. Simber taking over for Jose Castillo in an inning and 2/3, allowing a hit. No runs. Did a nice job in his second major league appearance.
Yeah, back-to-back outings where you've been very impressed. And today it looks like he can throw any pitch at any time, plus velocity. Makes it uncomfortable for hitters.
So Strom started with 2 1/3, giving up the 1 run the Braves have. Jose Castillo going an inning and 2/3, 1 hit, no runs. Didn't walk anybody. He struck out 2. And now Adam Simber into the game here for San Diego. Strike 3 called outside corner. And it's Peter Borges for the first out of the 5th inning.
Got away with mislocation with Adam Simber, but when you have a delivery like this, very difficult to pick up that release point. Locks Peter Borges up.
Mike Fultonevich batting for the second time. Brought down a sacrifice bunt in the 3rd inning. 495 average on the year. He is 2 for 21 at the plate. And Tardy on that. 0-2. It's a fastball at 87 miles an hour. Swing and a miss, gets away briefly from Lopez, who flags it down and fires to first base for the out. Back-to-back strikeouts for Adam Simber. And there are 2 outs here in the 5th inning. Nice job by Rafi Lopez to run that down pretty quickly and get the out at first base. Top of the order, Ozzie Albies coming up here now for Atlanta. Well, the Padres headed out today after the ball game to begin a long road trip that'll take them to Miami, St. Louis, and then to take on these Atlanta Braves before returning home briefly, take on the Oakland A's and back out again. That should have been called a strike, despite the reaction by Albies. Fouled back and a ball and a strike. Simber struck out Borges and Fulton-Evich. High drive down the right field line towards the pole, and that ball will be a foul ball. Wow, that was close.
That was very close. See it going behind the pole on the foul side. Had the distance. Ozzie Albies has some pop in the bat.
Deep sigh of relief there for Adam Simber. 2-2 pitch now. And a swing and a miss. A much better result. Comes back to strike him out. Strikes out the side. 2-1 Padres. Hours of coverage. The world's biggest sporting event is just 8 days away, only on Fox and FS1. Last of the 5th inning, where the Padres on top 2-1, top of the Padres order. Travis Jankowski to lead it off. Jankowski, Hosmer, and Perella. Fulton-Evich back on the mound. Jankowski today has struck out swinging and reached on an infield hit to first base. He's got one of 4 Padres hits in this game. Coming in with a record of 5-3, nifty 2.22 earned run average, 13th start of the year. And a walk for Travis Jankowski. That is the second straight inning that Foltynewicz has walked the leadoff hitter. Recipe for disaster there. The leadoff hitter, though, did not advance last inning. We'll see what happens this inning.
Travis Jankowski with 10 stolen bases on the year. He can press this issue right now, especially with the lead for the Padres.
Eric Hosmer's had a frustrating day at the plate so far. Struck out swinging in the first inning. Came up with the bases loaded and 2 outs and struck out swinging in the second inning. Pitch 80, and that's strike 1.
Heavy dose of sliders to Eric Hosmer today. That's a perfect recipe for Travis Jankowski. Why not take a chance when you're seeing a lot of secondary stuff to your second hitter?
Hosmer 2 for 8 in the series. And hitting at 288 coming into this at bat. Fouled off to the left, out of play. Finds himself down 1-2. Lead for Jankowski at first, held on by Freddie Freeman. Throw over and dug out of the dirt by Freeman, but Jankowski back to the bag.
Quick feet by Foltynewicz. Reason why Travis Jankowski has stayed at first base.
Center fielder Peter Borges over towards left center as Jose Perella looks on from the on deck circle. Swing and a miss, and Hosmer strikes out for the 3rd time today. And another slider from Foltynewicz. One down here in the 5th inning.
He's got different shapes to that breaking ball, almost a cutting action here. Tying up Hosmer inside. Just those guys that you can't pick up that release point, and they frustrate you. And they speed him up.
So 1 out, Jankowski at first, and here's Jose Perella. Quick check on Jankowski again at first base. Perella 0 for 2 today, has grounded back to the mound and flied out to right. Elevates at 97. Still throwing pretty hard. 0-2.
So hard to catch up on that as the barrel gets below the baseball. From the hitter's perspective, it looks so good. See the pitch range today, 100 miles an hour. And the low is 77. Has a very nice feel for the breaking ball to go along with the velocity.
Popped up foul down the first base line. Freddie Freeman will watch that land 6 or 7 rows deep into the crowd. Fultonevich walking Jankowski to begin the inning. Hosmer strikes out, and now ahead of Perella, 0-2. Perella fouls it off to the right, out of play.
I had a hitting coach in St. Louis, George Hendrick. Remember George?
I do.
And he used to say, I could put a swing on a bullet if it's in the strike zone. And we got the message, because it really has a lot to do with velocity. You have to handle velocity at this level. But it really has to do with where that velocity is. If it's at the top of the strike zone, which you're seeing a lot in baseball, very difficult to catch up. But that phrase that George always embedded in our head was always on our mind.
90th pitch coming up here for Fultonevich. And it's away, 2-2. Good battle put on here by Jose Perella.
George had those long pants all the way down to his shoes. That was when they wore them tight. You could almost see if they had like 36 cents in their back pocket. They were so tight. Looked like spandex.
7th pitch of the at bat is lined into left field for Jose Perella. Good AB for Perella. Got himself a 1-out base hit. Jankowski takes second, and it's 2 on with 1 away.
Now the offense has done such a good job, especially with 2 strikes in this homestand. The approach has been so much better, and they are sticking to their plans. Seeing a conscious effort of that. It's paid dividends for this offense.
The Padres 2 for 5 with runners in scoring position today. 7 for 17 in that category during the series. And it's Hunter Renfroe batting with 2 on 1 out as they try to add on to a 1-run advantage. And Renfroe takes ball 1. With a single to left in the 2nd inning, came around to score the first Padres run and grounded out to shortstop in the 3rd. 1 for 2. Fultonevich has made it tough on himself, walking the lead runner in the 4th and then again here in the 5th. Two and 1.
Almost seems like Hunter Renfroe is sitting on that slider. 3 fastballs in this at bat.
Two and 2. Fastball he chased that time. See 97, 98 at times from Fultonevich. Takes a little off at times too. Last one 94. And it's even a 2 and 2 with 2 on and 1 away. And Corey Spangenberg waiting on deck here for San Diego. Swing and a miss, and Renfroe strikes out. Strikeout number 7 for Fultonevich. That's a big one. 2 down.
Well, the put away pitch, the slider has been there all day long. Different shapes to that slider. Got Eric Hosmer previously in this inning, and then out goes Hunter Renfroe.
Season high in strikeouts for Fultonevich is 10. Struck out 10 Chicago Cubs back on May the 15th. 2 on, 2 down, and of course Spangenberg will take strike 1. Foul back to the screen, quickly 0-2. Highest runners scoring position average with 2 outs this year. Padres tied with the Boston Red Sox. MLB average is 225, but both the Red Sox and Padres at 283. And the Red Sox have 42 wins on the year.
Yeah.
Next pitch would be the 100th for Foltynewicz and the 25th pitch of this inning. Spangenberg went around and strike shot to end the inning. Rung up by Jerry Davis, the third base umpire. 8th strikeout for Foltynewicz, 2-1 Padres. Last night with a home run in the first inning to put Atlanta on top 1-0 for Freddie Freeman, his 11th of the year. Padres would come back though, a triple for Corey Spangenberg to right center field. Outscore Hunter Renfroe. Padres on the board to tie it up, and then Manuel Margot with a base hit to right field that would score Spangenberg, and the Padres took a 2-1 lead. And that's where we're at here heading into the 6th inning. Like Foltynewicz, so in an even 100 pitches, has given up 2 runs in 5 innings. Matt Strom, of course, started as part of this bullpen day today, went 2 1/3. And Manuel Margot and Corey Spangenberg leading the Padres offensively today. As we play here into the 6th inning. New pitcher for the Padres is Kirby Yates.
24th appearance, and you could see Kirby Yates done a tremendous job against right-handers. Limit to a 146 average.
Dansby Swanson leading it off here for Atlanta. A little early in the game here for Kirby Yates. Used to seeing him later in the game, but here he is in the 6th.
Yeah, might have a lot to do with who he's facing, scripting it for Andy Green and Darren Balsey, the pitching coach. Got to be creative. Got to be creative when it comes down to a bullpen game.
Swanson, Freeman, and Markakis, 2, 3, and 4 here for the Braves. This is the toughest part of their order, and here it is in the 6th inning. Adam Simber struck out all 3 batters he faced in the 5th.
He was tremendous.
There's Freeman waiting on deck, already homering earlier in this game. Swanson today 0 for 2, is flied out to center and struck out swinging. 7 strikeouts for Padres pitching today. Strom, Castillo, Simber. Evens up at 2-2. Swing and a miss, and Yates strikes out Swanson to begin the 6th inning. Make it 8 strikeouts for Padres pitching today.
Yates has the ability to put that split finger in the back of your mind, and that exposes you to the fastball. 95 on that heater.
One down in the 6th inning, and Freddie Freeman coming up. Home run we showed you, his 11th of the year. His 43rd RBI, and at the time put the Braves on top 1-0. Slow ground ball headed to Perella at second base. His throw in time to get Freeman. And there are 2 outs here in the 6th inning.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by the authority of the San Diego Padres. It may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form, and the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the San Diego Padres.
2 outs in the 6th inning. Nick Markakis 0 for 2 today. He has flied out to center and grounded out to second base. Six in a row retired by Padres pitching. Outside for ball 2, 2-0. Only blemish today, that home run by Freddie Freeman back in the 1st inning. Otherwise, it has been a tremendous bullpen day. Strom, Castillo, Simber, and now Yates. There's a strike, 2-1.
Yeah, you would think Yates or maybe even Stammen get extended a little bit today. And you know, you've seen Brad Hand be able to pitch multiple outs.
And take into consideration that this Braves team put together a 14-run attack in last night's game, holding him to 1 run to this point of the game with 2 outs in the 6th inning today.
Now, this Padre team has had the ability to bounce back, put what happened the previous day behind them.
That's ball 4, and Markakis will reach on a 2-out walk. And that is just the first free pass served up today by Padres pitching.
What you got to be conscious of in this situation, especially after the walk. This Braves team is very aggressive with the first pitch. You see the signs by Andy Green. They were trying to get Corey Spangenberg on the line. Tyler Flowers likes to get out in front and pull that pitch.
Flowers today has grounded out to short and been hit by a pitch. Hit in the elbow in the 4th inning. Derek Hosmer holding on Nick Markakis at first. Flowers grounds one foul down that 3rd base line.
That's the reason why they wanted Corey Spangenberg over there. Typically it's a step and a dive. You see Corey. It's not a step and a dive, it's a dive to protect that foul line.
Throw to first, and back is Markakis again.
Now defensively, even in the outfield, you'll take a step back. 2 outs, guy on first base. Want to limit that runner from scoring. If it gets past you, that's an easy run for Markakis with his speed.
Represents the tying run with 2 down here in the 6th. Fly ball, center field. And well, Margot back there shy of the warning track makes the catch that ends the inning. 5.5 done, 2-1 Padres. Casino opening in 2019 is Saquon's brand new 300-room resort and hotel. By Petco, the pet company. And by Pacific Surfliner. Ride the Surfliner to your next Padres game. Last of the 6th inning, and that is the day for Fulton Evans. As he works the first 5 innings of this game and departs after 100 pitches. Jesse Biddle into the game now for the Atlanta Braves into his 17th appearance.
Yeah, you look at the splits, they are reverse splits, and they are heavily favoring the left-handed hitters against this 26-year-old left-hander.
First deal with Freddie Galvis swinging at the first pitch and sending one to center, but Peter Borges is there for out number 1. So Freddie retired on 1 pitch here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Checking out the scouting report on Rafi Lopez, who's coming up next. He has walked and flied out to left field. So a 5-inning effort for Fulton Evans. Leaves on the hook in this game, allowing 5 hits and 2 runs. He walked 3 and struck out 8. And again through an even 100 pitches in his 5-inning effort. Lopez down 0-2. Fly ball, center field. Borges having to go further back this time. Almost to the warning track, but he's there again. 2 down. Let's take a look at the Arco top tier play. And it is the difference in this game right now. Manuel Margot with a base hit the other way and drives in the go-ahead run. Corey Spangenberg, who came in to put the Padres on top 2-1, just out of the reach of Ozzie Albies at second base. And here is Margot, who with that hit picked up his 16th RBI of the year.
Jesse Biddle, he hovers that front leg. Probably stay back on that, but you can't do it out of the stretch with runners on.
There's a hover.
Yeah, one of those quick, quirky deliveries, but watch him hover that stay back timing mechanism for the pitcher.
And momentum coming forward. Ball behind here, 2-1.
It's interesting because on that one, it looked like he hopped a little bit before he delivered the pitch.
Carter Kopp's
Yeah.
hop, or
Wasn't that extensive.
and this is inside that time of the breaking ball. Ball's behind 3-1. Kirby Yates on deck for the Padres. So he's going to be staying in this game. We're talking about getting a little bit more length out of a couple of guys, and like Yates is going to be one of those guys today.
Yates only threw 14 pitches his last inning of work, so that always helps, being efficient. Looks hitterish. The elbow pad on his pitching elbow.
Fouled off, and we'll do it again. 3-2.
I'm a little partial towards left-handed hitters anyway.
Did you wear a guard on your elbow?
I did not.
No protection.
No one wanted to hit me. They were like, this guy's an out. I could throw anything to this clown.
Inside ball 4, and Margot is aboard. A 2-out base on balls. There's a 4th walk for Braves pitching in the game today. None of those walks have turned into runs, at least not yet. 2 down. Here is Kirby Yates.
His first career plate appearance.
Right, he does look hitterish.
He does.
For a guy in his first career plate appearance. At least he looks the part.
Yeah.
Runner goes, and the throw down is in time. Dansby Swanson covers. And thrown out at second base is Margot, caught stealing. We'll see if the Padres are going to challenge this. At first look, I thought Margot was safe. But apparently Padres are not going to challenge, and it is a caught stealing for Tyler Flowers. So he headed the 7th with the Padres on top 2-1. He did get him. Fox Sports San Diego presents Padres Baseball, brought to you by Kona Brewing Company. Enjoy a Big Wave Golden Ale or a longboard lager today. And by RCP Block and Brick. Start your outdoor project at rcpblock.com. Well-pitched ball game, both sides today. And it is a 2-1. Padres lead to the 7th inning we go. And Kirby Yates, who hit for himself, or was trying to hit for himself before Manuel Margot was caught stealing. To end last inning, back out on the mound, and it's Charlie Culberson who leads it off here for Atlanta. Trying to bunt his way on, drops one foul. Culberson, the former Dodger, was part of the deal that saw Matt Kemp go from Atlanta back to LA. Kemp has been tremendous for the Dodgers this year.
He sure has. Obviously they're MVP, and they wouldn't be where they're at in the standings without Matt Kemp.
And today Culberson has struck out swinging and singled to center field. Yates pitching the 6th inning, and a strikeout, a ground out. He walked Nick Markakis, but then Tyler Flowers to fly out to center field to end the 6th. Next pitch will be his 18th of relief here. Bouncing in for ball 2.
Well, Craig Stammen has been loose in the bullpen. He is ready. Could be a situation where Andy Green uses a double switch. Remember, that pitching spot comes up first in the bottom half of this inning. Gotta be creative with 4 guys on the bench. Matt Caesar's already been used.
Fouled off to the right, out of play. Two runs, 5 hits, no errors for San Diego. A run, 3 hits, and no errors for the Braves. Culberson fouls it off, glancing off the glove of Rafi Lopez. Only 3 hits allowed by the combination of Strom, Castillo, Simber, and Yates in this game. 2-2. Get away, ball 3. A piece of Rafi Lopez. I got the bare hand, I think. Split umpire Nick Lentz giving a little extra time and a professional courtesy. Johan Camargo waiting on deck for Atlanta. Rafi appears to be okay. 8th pitch of the at-bat coming up here for Charlie Culberson, who leads it off in the 7th inning.
Man, this is a big pitch.
Grounded foul, will do it again. Off pitch again, and grounded foul again outside third. Culberson, Camargo, Borges scheduled to bat in the inning. Looks like they're going to try to work him away here. Another 3-2 pitch. Popped up left side. Spangenberg and Galvis, and it's Freddie Galvis astride on the outfield grass. Makes the catch for the first out of the 7th inning. Pretty good battle there put on by Charlie Culberson, a 10-pitch at bat before he pops out to the shortstop for the first out of the 7th inning. Going to bring up Johan Camargo, who is 0 for 2 today. He's popped out to first and struck out swinging. Tried to hold up and did, according to Jerry Davis, third base umpire, crew chief of this 4-man crew.
With that pitching spot up, Brian Snitker has 3 left-handers on his bench to go to.
And Yates falling behind 3-0. Peter Borges on deck right now.
Peter Borges, not your everyday center fielder, getting a spot start today, so that's a position Snitker can take an opportunity as well. Now, this is a cat and mouse game when you start getting into tight ball games and the managers have some offensive weapons to choose from.
That is ball 4, a little bit low, and down to first base goes Camargo. So the second walk given up by Kirby Yates of his outing. And you got Peter Borges coming up here now for the Braves. A spectacular day in San Diego today. Lots of blue skies and sunshine, and we play day baseball. Finale of this 3-game series against the Atlanta Braves, and the finale of the homestand for the Padres. Throw to first, and back to the bag is Camargo.
Well, Camargo doesn't have any stolen bases, but this is an opportunity with Peter Borges up. Has good speed. The bunt could come into play. Also the hit and run.
Tardy on the fastball there, has him down 0-1. It's 30 pitches now for Kirby Yates since coming into this game to start the 6th inning. Preston Tucker has come out on deck now for the Braves, and he would bat in the pitcher's spot. Looked like a very good pitch, but called the ball.
Close pitch, right at the bottom part of the strike zone.
Low strike has not been called a lot in this game. One to Peter Borges. And a block by Lopez. No advance at first for Camargo. Tying run at first base with 1 out in the Braves 7th inning.
You don't want to get to 3-1, so this is going to be a quality pitch by Kirby Yates. 3-1 sets all kinds of different options in motion.
I'm thinking fastball away here on a 2-1. And it is lined to short. Galvis will fire to first, and not in time. Trying to double off Camargo at first base. Good thought by Galvis. That is out number 2 on the liner to shortstop here in the 7th inning.
Now Camargo got lucky on that play. On first base, he is off with that line drive, and Freddie Galvis gets rid of this very quickly. Now you see him in no man's land. That's not a comfortable feeling. Kirby Yates is loving that.
2 down here in the 7th inning, and here is Preston Tucker to pinch it in the spot of the pitcher, Jesse Biddle, and with that out comes Darren Balsley, pitching coach, to talk here to Kirby Yates.
Well, we didn't get to see Ronald Acuna Jr. in this series because he's on the disabled list, but that was the player that came up and took a lot of playing time from Preston Tucker. At the beginning of the year, he played extensively in left field, so they called the young outfielder up. And why I say that, every pinch hitter, which he is 6 for 23 in this situation, at the beginning of the year, getting a base of at bats, comfortable, getting your timing, rhythm, that's a benefit in these situations.
We were talking to Brian Snicker the other day before the series began. He said that Acuna would be headed out on a rehab this next week. So a good sign for them. Should be back relatively soon. What has been a great addition for them.
Scary injury in Boston Red Sox series.
Yeah, that had the look of Bryce Harper's injury from last year.
Yeah, that was one of those situations where you were just hoping that those results of the MRI came back. Didn't show too much damage.
And Preston Tucker batting with 2 down, tying run at first base for Atlanta. And that'll drop in there for a strike, 1-1.
Well, that's a good split finger. Fastball count 1-0, and you drop that split finger in for a strike.
They're shifting here on Tucker. High drive, but foul out ahead of this and driven into that first deck.
Still a good pitch by Kirby Yates. He showed him the fastball, but it was in off the plate. Really a hard pitch to keep fair. I think he goes back to the split finger here.
Swing and a miss, and he struck him out with the splitter. Second strikeout for Yates, 2-1 Padres.
Hats off for heroes. For each post, T-Mobile will donate $1 to support veterans.
Seventh inning stretch back in San Diego with the Padres on top of the Braves 2-1. As we move here to the last half of the 7th inning and some changes. As into the game is A.J. Minter 26th appearance, a 3.57 earned run average. 13 walks, 22 strikeouts. And a pinch hitter he will deal with here to begin things in the bottom of the 7th inning. It'll be Christian Villanueva coming off the bench to pinch hit and lead it off in the 7th.
Now, this would be a good time for an add-on run. These Padres have had opportunities to add on to that lead.
Wild swing and a miss for Villanueva. So he is batting in Kirby Yates' spot. Yates ends up throwing 37 pitches in 2 innings. No hits, no runs. He walked 2, struck out 2. Villanueva down 0-2.
That last strikeout by Preston Tucker was the big one. Kirby Yates. This whole bullpen has done a tremendous job today. Big strikeouts.
9 strikeouts for Padres pitching today on this bullpen day. That is strike 3. Villanueva looked at it. And there's 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th inning.
3 fastballs. That's Christian Villanueva's hot spot. Just couldn't pull the trigger.
So 1 down brings up Travis Jankowski. Jankowski struck out in the 1st, singled in the infield in the 2nd, and then walked in the 5th. There's strike 1. In the top half of the 8th inning, you have the top of the Braves order. Albies, Swanson, and Freeman expect anybody gets on. Markakis would have a chance, and you got Brad Hand up in the pen right now for the Padres. And we have seen more than once in the last week or 2 that Andy Green has gone to Brad Hand in the 8th inning, depending upon whether or not the big guys are coming up. And the big guys are coming up.
Yeah, they're coming up, and they also have had success against left-handers, but that's Brad Hand, the NL reliever of the month of May.
Swing and a miss, and Jankowski strikes out back-to-back Ks for Minter. 2 down here in the 7th inning.
Well, Minter's, here you go. Got the fastball coming right at you. Had a cutting action on that.
Brings up Eric Hosmer, who's had a very frustrating day today. Struck out swinging in the 1st. Struck out with the bases loaded in the 2nd, and then struck out with a runner at 2nd in the 5th. Now fouls one off to the left out of play. Swinging at that first pitch this time. Minter took over for Jesse Biddle, who went an inning with a walk. Didn't strike anybody out. No hits, no runs. It's already on a 97-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 0-2. Pitches, 8 strikes for A.J. Minter coming out of that Braves bullpen. Fouled it off down the left field line, out of play. Strike away from that immaculate inning we were talking about with Max Scherzer.
Max Scherzer's had it twice.
Pitch 10, and that'll run inside. 1-2. Peter Borges, center fielder, over towards left center, gap out in right center field. And a 1-2 to Hosmer. 2-2. Padres got their 2 runs in the second inning after the Braves had scored first. And a home run by Freeman in the first inning. RBIs for Spangenberg and Margot. And that has been it as far as the scoring has gone. Well pitched game, both sides. Swing and a miss, and Hosmer is struck out for the 4th time today. Minter strikes out the side. 2-1 Padres.
Two-run double for him, and it's an 11-2 final. Important because in the National League East, Atlanta leads that division over Washington by half a game. Washington is 35-25. Steve, who do you like coming out of there at the end of the day?
Well, everybody thought Washington was probably going to run away with that division this year, but the Atlanta Braves, this team we're seeing here, I don't think they're going to go anywhere. Washington's still a little bit banged up. They get all their guys back. They could take off a little bit.
Steve and I working on Padres Live, the post-game show, which will be brought to you today by Cox Communications. When we see you after the final out, we'll talk about what's been a very successful, to this point, bullpen day for San Diego. You're going to hear from Andy Green. Remember, tomorrow, the off day, and we'll get you set for the long road trip that begins in Miami coming up on Friday. Gents?
All right, thanks very much, Mike and Steve, as we play along here to the 8th inning. And Brad Hand is in here with Ozzie Albers leading it off. And taking that slider for strike 1. Brad Hand into his 17 out of 19 in save opportunities, and he comes in here with a record of 1-3. 2.15 earned run average. Line to left, and that's going to get down and go to the track of the wall. Albies will head for second base. Jankowski's throw will be off the mark, and a double starts the 8th inning for Ozzie Albies and the Braves.
Such a dangerous hitter. Just that aggression, but also being able to hit all parts of the strike zone. He has been the story of the Atlanta Braves for the young youth movement. Man, does he have speed to go along with the bat skills.
So a double starts the 8th inning, tying run in scoring position, the 19th double of the year for Ozzie Albies. Dansby Swanson 0 for 3 from the number 2 spot in the Braves order today. Flat out to center in the first, struck out swinging in the third, struck out swinging in the 6th inning. 4 for 11 in the series for the Atlanta shortstop. Down and in, 2-0.
What makes this Braves team very dangerous is their late inning heroics. They've been known for that under Brian Snitker, relying on a lot of youth, but also experience, as you see Freeman.
Yeah, they've done the majority of their damage in innings 7, 8, and 9 offensively. Fouled off down the right field line, and it is 2-1.
I always look at this, Don. You see those teams that have comeback wins, also walk-off hits. It creates a certain chemistry that you have, and also the confidence. This Atlanta Braves team is in first place because of that.
Double by Albies at second base. 2-1 coming to Swanson. Reaches out, protects plate, and fouls it off to the right. Nice grab by a fan in the first row of the first deck. And a Will Myers shirt.
Now this is dangerous because it's right around that cement area. Nice catch. Still don't know why people start to grab a ball without a glove on. He's excited.
He's fired up. Runner goes on the 2-2 that is fouled off. Albies had that stolen. A foul ball for Swanson, and that helps the Padres out right there.
Yeah, the Padres bought a break, obviously with 2 strikes. But he gets a huge jump.
Two balls, 2 strikes, nobody out. Tying run at second base for the Braves. And that one just missing away. Full count now.
Yeah, Brad Hand had an extended look trying to freeze Albies at second base.
The least favorite tactic of all the pitcher's tactics to hold a runner on. The least fun for announcers.
It sure is.
Payoff pitch, another long look out at second base. And that is going to be strike 3. Home plate umpire Nick Lentz rings up Swanson. Shakes his head as he walks away. He thought it was ball 4, but instead it's out number 1. That's huge.
Now we've seen some of the pitches down in the strike zone that haven't been called tonight. Or excuse me, today. That upper quadrant of the strike zone has been called. This catches that top part of the strike zone for a big strikeout for the Padres.
That is the 10th strikeout today for Padres pitching on a bullpen day. And Freddie Freeman now bats against Brad Hand, and he'll spiral off the backside, no throw. For 15, 4 strikeouts for Freeman against Brad Hand in his career in this lefty-lefty matchup. Now, lefties don't seem to bother Freddie Freeman.
Yeah, because he hangs in there, doesn't have a lot of head movement, has the ability to track the baseball. And when those power hitters can drive the ball to left center, it makes him so dangerous.
And wanted that. 2-0.
You saw the reaction of Brad Hand. He froze a little bit. So did Lopez.
Didn't get the call, and now falls behind here. 2-0. Tying run at second base in Albies with one out in the eighth. Swing and a miss there. Well, when in doubt, the slider for Brad Hand.
Now Freddie Freeman likes the ball down. See the highest average with runners in scoring position. That's consistency.
Huge spot in the game right now. One out in the eighth inning. Padres holding on to a one-run advantage. Two and two. Over the gas that time at 95 and by him.
One of the best fastballs Brad Hand has thrown in his last few appearances.
Brad Hand named the National League Reliever of the Month for the month of May. With a 2-2 pitch to Freddie Freeman. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. Down on the count, 2-0, and comes back to strike out Freeman. Back-to-back Ks for Brad Hand.
What a punch out. This was huge. And after that previous fastball, he throws a very good slider. 11 saves in the month of May, but 22 punch outs in 14 and 2/3 innings.
Trying to work his way around a leadoff double by Ozzie Albies, who's still at second base with now two down. And it brings up Nick Markakis. Strike one. Markakis has fly to center, grounded out to second base, and walked. And bats here with two down. No success in his career against Brad Hand. 0 for 10 with 5 strikeouts. Oh and 2, and badly fooled on that pitch. Another slider running away.
Continues to throw that breaking ball. You see Travis Jankowski in left, shallow. Markakis will stick his bat out and just try to fist one out to left field.
Friar faithful coming to their feet here for Brad Hand. Here's an 0-2 pitch coming up. That's away. Not chasing was Markakis. Leadoff double by Ozzie Albies. Dansby Swanson struck out looking. Freddie Freeman struck out swinging. Now it is 1 and 2 to Nick Markakis. Swing and a miss, and Hand out of the jam. Works his way out of a runner at second with nobody out. Strikes out Swanson, Freeman, and Markakis, all down by way of the K. 2-1 Padres to the bottom of the eighth. by our San Diego Honda dealers.
Now for the Padres, they have been looking for their 21st victory when they lead after 6 innings. A tight game today, and Freddie Freeman and Nick Markakis today combined 1 for 7. That solo home run came off Freddie Freeman's first at bat, but the punch outs of Brad Hand that last inning were huge.
And the Padres looking to obtain some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Dan Winkler now into the game. Comes the 4th arm used by Brian Snitker and the Atlanta Braves. Jose Pirela today has grounded back to the mound, flied out to right, and singled to left field. Winkler taking over for A.J. Minter, who struck out the side in order. Another strike, and it's 1-2.
You know, Don, watching this Braves team, you understand where they are in the rankings is the reason for a lot of reasons. It's a young team, but also you got your veterans. Brian Snitker has a bullpen that's been very impressive. Not your household names.
On the ground and into left field. A base hit for Jose Pirela. 2-hit day for Pirela, and a leadoff single here in the bottom of the 8th inning. And a good start to the bottom of the 8th.
Oh, high cheese being able to handle that, getting on top of that pitch. Seen Jose Pirela swing under that at times, but not this one. Pounding that by Dansby Swanson.
So lead runner on here for San Diego in the 8th inning, and it brings up Hunter Renfroe. A single in the 2nd. Drops in there for strike 2. Lead at first base for Pirela, held on over there by Freeman. Renfroe, ground one towards short, and going to first is Swanson. The only play that he had, as it turned out, and Pirela gets into scoring position with 1 down. Kind of worked like a bunt, even though it was a grounder to short. Not hit that hard, and Swanson did the only thing he could do. 1 away.
Weak contact, and Dansby Swanson comes up. He has to get it out. Good glove work and throwing on the run, but to the benefit of the Padres with an add-on run in scoring position.
A chance to do something about it here is Corey Spangenberg with Pirela now at second base. With an RBI triple back in the 2nd inning. Struck out in the 3rd, struck out in the 5th. Fouled off to the left out of play, 1-1. We'll talk about all these strikeouts today for Padres pitching. The Braves have struck out 11 in this game. 8 for Fulton Evich, the starter in 5 innings. 3 for A.J. Minter, the 3rd pitcher used. Striking out 4 times today is Eric Hosmer. It's been a frustrating day at the plate for Haas. Bunt showing by Spangenberg grabs the attention of Camargo at 3rd base, but he pulled it back for ball 2.
Yeah, pretty interesting play. You want that add-on run. I'd like to see Corey swing the bat in this situation. Now he's opened it up. See Camargo on the grass.
one gets away briefly from Flowers. Couldn't find it right away, but it was behind him. Locates it. No advance at second base for Perella. Taking a stroll in behind the mound is Winkler. Back up on top. Freddie Galvis waiting on deck. Padres batting here in the home half of the 8th inning. To right field. Markakis is not going to get there. It's in for a hit. Perella will be stopped at third. And it's a good thing he was, because Markakis, who possesses a very good arm, came plateward, and it's first and third with one down now in the 8th. Second hit of the day for Corey Spangenberg.
A couple multi-hit games for Corey Spangenberg. I'm surprised he's not on second base. Markakis airmailed that ball.
Leading at the mound right now, and home plate umpire Nick Lentz out there to break it up. Catcher Tyler Flowers did the bulk of the talking out there as they get ready to deal with Freddie Galvis with one out, runners at the corners. An insurance run here for the Padres, 90 feet away, and Jose Perella.
Now, we've seen Andy Green implement the safety squeeze. This is a scenario where you got speed on the base paths. You can have a guy that can handle the bat, especially with the bunt.
Throw to first, and back to the bag is Spangenberg.
A lot of options for the Padres offensively, especially with speed on first. Corey Spangenberg.
Another throw over. Spangenberg back again. Galvis swinging away and fouls it back to the screen.
That's a good swing. Got the fastball that he wanted down and in, just missed it.
Jose Perella started the inning with a single to left field. Renfroe grounded out to short. Perella took second base. And Spangenberg with a single to right has runners at first and third with one out. In the bottom of the 8th inning. Another throw to first, and Spangenberg back to the bag again.
Well, the Braves know that it's on the scouting report. And Andy Green has implemented that safety squeeze. Andy Green's just trying to pick out the right time.
Galvis squared but pulled back, and it was the safety squeeze there if he had gotten it down.
Typically you don't see pitch outs in the game. Not a lot of guys stealing bases these days. But that was trying to keep that, prevent that safety squeeze. And Freddie Galvis. Good time to steal a base here.
And he drops it down. Coming plateward is Perella. He will score. They go to first. And dropping it down, getting it done is Freddie Galvis, and the Padres do get the insurance run on top 3-1. Time now for the Bill Howe play of the game, and it is that play right there.
Well, you got to have the guys to implement that and execute it. Freddie Galvis, what a perfect placed bunt to the first base side, down to the pitcher. Winkler can't do anything about this. Hard to defend, but Andy Green pulls the right punch at the right time.
Sacrifice and an RBI on the play as the Padres get their third run. Spangenberg takes second base. And Rafi Lopez bats. Strike on the outside corner. Rafi Lopez today has walked, flied out to left, flied out to center. Fly ball left field. Charlie Culberson moving over towards the line. Makes the catch out there that ends the 8th inning. But the Padres add a run, take a 3-1 lead to the 9th. Outstanding today all day long against this Atlanta Braves team.
Yeah, you think about that, just announcing it's a bullpen game and guys stepping up, doing their job. It was all about limiting the hits and also the big punch outs. Brad Hand, after that leadoff double, punches out the side in the middle of the order. The Padres extend their lead in the 8th, and Brad Hand is still on the mound.
Yeah, 12 strikeouts today for Padres pitching. Strom, Castillo, Simber, Yates, and Hand. Tyler Flowers leading it off against Hand, who threw 18 pitches in the 8th inning. Back out there to start the 9th. Flowers has grounded to short, been hit by a pitch, and flied out to center. Up the middle and to the backhand goes Perella. His throw in time. 1 down in the 9th inning. Nice play. That ball back up the middle, run around the bag at second, and Perella with a nice rangy play and gets it there in plenty of time to get Flowers.
I say it all the time, switching positions from the outfield to the infield is not that easy. Jose Perella with a strong arm going to his right, but being able to get that big first out. This play by Jose Perella.
1 down in the 9th, and Charlie Culberson the batter. A strikeout in the 2nd, single to center in the 4th. Popped out to shortstop in the 7th. A 1-for-3 day. 0-2. 95 on the fastball from Hand.
Tom, I can't tell you how important that is for the add-on run in the bottom of the 8th.
Huge.
Just a different mentality. Brad Hand's aggressive anyway, but affords him to pitch a little bit differently in this inning.
Field straight away on Charlie Culberson, who bats now with 1 down in the 9th, and Johan Camargo waiting on deck for Atlanta. That is strike 3. Delayed call from Nick Lentz, but he rings him up. 4th strikeout for Hand. 13th strikeout of the day for Padres pitching.
That was the same pitch to Dansby Swanson. Just off the plate, he gets a call, but he has been there all day long. Credit Rafi Lopez showing that pitch.
2 down in the 9th inning for Johan Camargo. There is strike 1. That's strike 2. And they stand as one to the Friar faithful at Petco Park, where the Padres on top 3-1 with 2 down and 2 strikes on Camargo here in the 9th inning. Very defensive swing and foul back to the right out of play. That Hand trying to finish off Camargo and the Braves. An 0-2 pitch. In the air to shallow right center field. Pirelli is out. Incoming, and look out. It's Renfroe makes the catch that ends the ball game, and the Padres win. Well, they take 2 out of 3 from the Atlanta Braves and finish up a very strong homestand. Able to win all 3 series of the homestand, and today a very nice 3-1 victory for the Padres over the Atlanta Braves. Padres Live is next. Mike Pomerantz, what's in store?
Well, coming up, you're going to hear from Andy Green talk about what you just mentioned, having a nice home run. We'll also get you set for the upcoming long road trip and a look at our instructional today. So kids and coaches gather around. Steve Finley has something special.